Hello and welcome to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kniep, and today, it has been a eventful past few weeks. So I have gotten several of my crowdsource funded games in, either from Kickstarter or GameFound or both. Seems like a lot of games nowadays are like doing their original set on Kickstarter, and then they're doing their fulfillment through GameFound for whatever reason. But I got the Oathsworn 2nd edition. I've gotten the Oceans Legendary edition. I got Dwellings of Eldervale, which was really just a pre-order. And then I've got OrcQuest in today. So OrcQuest just came in today, and I have been looking at this box, and I wanted to do this on the video. I've been doing a handful of unboxings here recently because of all the new stuff that's been coming in. So OrcQuest is this game that has really had a journey. I think they started in 2018. They had a campaign under Maze Games. I believe that's the designer's game, company that they were trying to kind of start up or begin with this. And they failed with that. They ran into too many complications. They never quit with the game. They never just put it on the shelf or anything. He just was not able to make it happen with the funds that he had and the things that he was trying to produce. I think they may be French people. Johan, I think, is the main guy's name of the designers. Bugny or something like that. I'm sure there's a French pronunciation if that's the case, but either way, the fellow looked like he was trying really hard to make this happen, and he ended up going with Monolith Games to finally get this fulfilled for the original backers from all the way back in 2018. And Monolith basically, they had the game already made. Essentially, they just had to produce all the components and stuff. So it was a pretty quick turnaround. I think this was a year ago, maybe, that if even that I originally backed it. But I did get the whole set. I think that might have been the only thing that they had offered, was to just get the whole set. I can't remember. I don't think there was a lot of different options. But I'm excited to check it out today. So let's go ahead and bust the sky open and see what is in OrcQuest, and I'll babble along the way. OrcQuest is a silly kind of campaign where your orcs going through I don't know if you'd call it a dungeon crawl. It's I know the first scenario, I've watched videos played of it, and you are going through a village, and you're kind of pillaging and raiding this village and killing you're kind of playing the opposite side of what you normally would be playing. Normally you're going to be killing the orcs, but in this game you are the orcs, and they've got some silly kind of characters, and they've got this whole, I think their god's name is Badass, so they got this kind of joking thing about getting badass points for doing all of the stuff that you're supposed to do during a quest. Let's see what we've got in here. This is a pretty heavy box. This was 22 pounds. So I know there's a pretty fair amount of miniatures with this game. Oh yeah, okay. And we've got 2 big boxes to go with it, it looks like. So let's see if I can... Jeez, these things are heavy. Okay, well, maybe they're just kind of stuck together, but they are heavy still. Whoa. Okay, so you've got two boxes in this package. Oh, okay. And that is everything contained right here. So if you're looking at what you're going to have on your shelf, this is kind of it. You can kind of see the width, my hands. Pretty hefty looking boxes. They're not very long. They're kind of square shaped, but all together they're, well, you know, I could pull out. They're about the size of the old, the Witcher Old World, like the full box of that. Like if you got the big box of that, so it's going to take up about, you know, a calyx cube or more of space. But let's see what we've got on these two boxes here, if it says anything different on one or the other. Yeah, here's the designers' names. Again, probably I'm not pronouncing this right. Johan Bugney and Thomas Moffroyd. It's probably completely pronounced in a different way. Well, I don't see anything that actually says like one box is minis or either of them are different. They kind of look like, this might just be a whole separate like campaign section in one box. It almost looks like a whole version of the game. Well, let's go ahead and start busting them open. I'm gonna do this first one. I think this looks a little bit more core-like or whatever as far as the two boxes are concerned. Let's see what we got in here. But yeah, so 2018, 5 years ago is when they originally started their campaign for this. So man, that's been quite a while for a game to be produced. Now luckily for me, I didn't know about it until like the second campaign was this, you know, the second attempt with Monolith came out. So the original backers have been waiting quite some time. But fortunate for me, I only had to wait like less than a year, so it was nice. It's not too often that you back games and you get them in a year or less. Okay. So we've got a big thick piece of cardboard on top of all this. We got Gorbog's Tales. This looks like maybe the oh, this is just a comic book? No, this is the rule. It looks like a comic book in here. Just kind of funny. Almost like a little goblin. A goblin made a comic book. And then it looks like we've got, yeah, the actual missions, scenarios, and things like that in the beginning of it. So that's kind of fun. They threw a little silly comic book in it. Maybe it plays into the actual gameplay. So, again, the game tries to be kind of funny, kind of silly. They've got some weird kind of characters in here, and one of them is the Orc Cthulhu or Cthulhu or something like that. So here's a picture of him. All right, there. It just looks like a combo of Cthulhu and an orc, sort of. Okay, so here we've got a separate quest book. So I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously I don't know anything about what all is in here just yet, but it looks like there's scenarios in this comic book, Gorbog's Tales, and then there's a regular quest book here. And then you got the rule book. Pretty thick rule book. Pretty hefty. It looks like there's 51 pages altogether. Quite a rule book to get through, it looks like. So here we got all our chits and stuff. Might bust these open just to see what the quality of that cardboard is that they're using. So I'm not really familiar with Monolith games, I don't believe. I don't think I have any of their games. I think they are a fairly well-respected company, though, as far as I remember. And yeah, these punch out really nice. Let's see if I can get one with an actual picture on it. Yeah, just like your kind of standard fare cardboard tokens. This is actually, they're pretty stiff. They feel real solid. They're not like crazy thick, but they're definitely not thin. So good solid tokens. So yeah, it looks like we've got maybe some walls and stuff here too that stand up and maybe get built to actually be a 3D kind of thing. Let's just do this right over to the under the top cam, since I have the whole package opened up. Yeah, we've got a bunch of little tokens here. Let's see if I can scoop this down a little bit now that I have the big box out of the way. Okay. Yeah, we've got just a bunch of different things that are probably going to be spawning up in the different buildings that show up on a normal scenario. You got beds and things like that, and all your different chits for damage and conditions. And then we have, I'm not going to worry about pulling all of these out, but these look like all of the different pieces to build the maps out with. It's not going to be really all that exciting to look at, just a bunch of blank kind of bases or whatever. So here, this is a miniatures game. There's quite a bit of miniatures in it, and we're getting down to them right now. So it looks like they kind of did a CMON game style setup here with your boxes, kind of closed boxes for all the minis. So there's a decent amount of space in here that's probably unnecessary. Well, this one doesn't have so much. Quite a few figures here. I didn't look at the number of them. I'm sure it probably says it on the back of the box here, how many minis come with this. Oh gee, 85 enemy miniatures, 5 boss miniatures, 13 hero miniatures. So add that all up, whatever that is, 103 miniatures. And this, I think that's maybe just that box. Yeah, because there's a whole nother set of miniatures in this other one. So let's see, maybe we can pull out a few of these. I don't think we need to get all of them out. Let's pull out some of the cooler looking ones. So here's your big Cthulhu orc fella. And these are pretty solid looking minis. Like, these look nice. Not a crazy amount of detail, but definitely a decent amount. They're not like the Dwellings of Eldervale miniatures. I thought were kind of bland. I mean, they serve their purpose, but they kind of look like they're made out of Play-Doh or something. Or I don't know. They're really soft on the details. These aren't super sharp on details, but they also have a fair amount of details. So here's a little dog that's showing up, and if this will focus off of my face, he does have a decent amount of like fur detail, so that's nice. Here's one of the, I think they're referring to these as heroes. They're your orcs. These are the ones that you're playing with. So he's one of the cooler looking orc characters here. Or he's like a minotaur, I guess. He's actually got, they don't go with just orcs on this game. I know they've got like goblins. Or some of the characters aren't strict orcs, but they're kind of in the whole like orc goblin family. Here's one of the little goblin characters here as well. And then here's just another one of the guys that you would actually be fighting, even though he looks like somebody that might be a hero in another game. Little soldier. Yeah, we've got quite a few. Looks like a bunch of soldiers, rat people that maybe the orcs are fighting against other factions of creatures as well as the humans. It looks like there's a bunch of gnolls in the bottom of here as well. I guess they're gnolls. It looks like a lot of rat-esque enemies here. I'll pull one of these guys out to show though. He's, let's see if that'll focus. Yeah, he's kind of like a, it looks like a kind of a gnoll character. But then you have a bunch of like kind of humanoid elves and just regular human soldiers and villagers in there as well. Now you've got something here that's got a couple big wings on it. Let's go ahead and pop this together because this looks like probably the largest miniature of the set, not considering the Cthulhu orc. Jeez. This looks like a cockatrice or something. So this is the, let's see, as a comparison for, this is one of the smallest miniatures in the game. Here, this little rat guy next to the Cthulhu orc. So you can kind of see the range of size. And then this, I guess this is a cockatrice or something. It's kind of what it looks like. He's technically the biggest miniature. Once you stick the wings on, the wings come off, come separate. But that's about as big as you're getting there with the, you know, you can kind of see with my hand size about how big that is. I'm not sure exactly how tall that is, but nothing crazy huge, but pretty decent looking and good looking miniatures though too. Like I said, these all look really nice for what they are. I don't know if I can pop those wings off easily here. There they go. Well, it goes in there somehow. Okay. But yeah, maybe I'll pull out just a couple more of the cool, different looking figures here that you might be using. You got kind of a she-orc here. And then you got some other little goblin-y looking little shaman kind of looking character. And here's another one of the kind of just cool, strict orcs. You know, he's like, it looks like something off of Warcraft. Gosh, I had WarQuest stuck in my head. I was thinking of OrcQuest. I couldn't think of Warcraft. And then you actually have one of the characters here does actually look like a human. So maybe this is some scoundrel or something that's working with the orcs. I'm sure there's something in the story there that pulls him out. These guys, I don't know if you can straight away, you might be able to play these right away, but I kind of think that there's a thing where you might fight one of these. I'm not sure. But they are the green plastic ones, which I'm assuming, he's kind of a big fat ogre looking dude. I'm assuming at some point you get to play as him, and you might just get to do it straight from the beginning. This guy looks really neat. He looks like some kind of a warlock. He's got it looks like a big demon kind of springing up out of his back. It's pretty cool. But we won't go through all 103 or whatever it was of these miniatures. But that's what you're seeing in that kind of, I guess, that core box or whatever. It doesn't really list it as a core box. It almost, again, looks like these are two completely playable separate sets, but I'm assuming that the second one is going to be mostly content that just adds to this base set. And we will see now, because I'm going to put these off to the side and see what this whole second big box has got for us. So this is a whole nother same size box here. Again, a pretty decent amount of space. This is about a Frost, almost, well, not, yeah, it's about Frosthaven level of space when you put the two boxes together. They'd be taller, if they're stacked on each other, they'll be taller than Frosthaven, but they'll be not quite as long. Okay. You know, I've been thinking here lately, because I did this an unboxing that replaced my old Oceans game, and my old Oceans game had a hole in the top of it. Man, it looked bad, but it made it so much easier to pull the lid off. I kind of wish these board game producers would start putting like just some little holes in the top that look like they're supposed to be there, because that little airflow makes it so much easier to pull those big, thick, you know, this is a long lid. It gets really stuck on there. Enough rambling about that. So we've got a couple chapters here that look like just a bunch of different scenarios here. You got Blood for Blood and Sewer Fever. That's where all those rats are showing up at. I'm going to put these off to the right side so I can remember what box all this goes into. So here's a bunch of more minis. We'll look at those in just a moment. Let's just see what else is in the box first. So we have the other map tiles. In here we actually have a bunch of inserts. So I guess this is going to be where you're going to actually store the majority of the components of the game. So I guess these two boxes do actually kind of go together. It looks like they, you know, I'm not really sure why they put them in separate boxes. Maybe just to make it easier to store on your shelf, because so many people have that kind of calyx size, you know, holes or whatever for boxes. So we've got a bunch of dice here. These are all the kind of hit and defense dice. Actually, pull some of these guys out. Really reach my arm out in the middle of this table. I think that top camera hit it. But yeah, let's see if this top camera will stay in focus. I think it will if I raise stuff up. That's kind of what we're looking at. Kind of rounded corner dice. Nothing too crazy, just have the symbols that the game is going to use for, again, attacks and defenses and whatever other little symbols are on there. I see some skulls as well. So we've got a bunch of cards. It looks like they all have like a thing on here that says, like, this says box 1, pack 5 of 10, and then it lists the expansion that it's going with. So maybe I'm not going to open up all this stuff because it might be hidden information. But you can kind of see on there how it describes what those card sets are for. So that's pretty nice, because a lot of the time you're kind of confused when you first open up some of these card packs and you don't really know where they all go to. And it looks like most of these are, if I had to guess, these look like either US minis or European mini size cards. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. They almost look a little bit bigger than the European minis, but okay. I will pull out one of these. Maybe I can find pack 1. We'll look at pack 1 of box 1 to get an idea for what some of these cards look like and feel like and smell like. I think I'm going to make it a running theme that when I do an unboxing video, I'm going to take a smell of the cards. Because I don't know about you, and maybe I'm the weirdo here, but usually packs of cards have like a distinct smell to them. And sometimes it's really nice. It's really nostalgic. Yeah. Not quite the super nostalgic Magic the Gathering Pokemon cards or whatever, that kind of print that has that you know, excitement of being a little kid and opening up a pack of booster pack. So yeah, these look like a bunch of the. These look like a bunch of, I can't remember how all of the combat works. Oh no, they actually have, okay, so yeah, they have the symbol of the particular orc or goblin character that you're playing on there. So these must be the ones that you're actually using for combat. So we'll kind of bring some of these up close here where you can kind of see them a little bit. I'm just going to take chunks away at a time instead of going through all of them. Yeah, just different attacks and things that they're able to do. Okay, so that's an idea for what the at least box 1, pack 1 out of 10 looks like. Yeah, these cards are, you know, a little thin. I'm going to sleeve them anyway, so it's not going to matter. But fine, you know, they're just your in general, they're kind of standard fare for most board games. They're not linen finished or anything crazy special, but that's totally fine. Okay. So all these other packs here are just, again, they're all these separated. Most of them have like an expansion name on them. And I'm assuming when you go through the actual rule set, it's going to show, you know, what you need to pull out at a time. And there may be a setup. Didn't see that when I first opened it up, but I always really like to see in games like some kind of way that shows you how to set the game up. And by that I mean like set the box up, like put the box back together afterwards. And I'm kind of curious, while I got this out here, if there's something on the back of the rule book, because I see a bunch of spaces here, but nothing labeled or telling you where everything goes. And it could be, let's see, quest book, Warbox Tales. This still doesn't have it. I thought maybe the other box had some kind of an instruction booklet in it that I just showed, but I think it's just got those two like kind of chapter books or whatever for different scenarios. So yeah, so I guess maybe I'm going to end up doing another video for like how to sort this box afterwards. I'm going to probably be looking it up after, and it may be somewhere in the mix of these rules here. So we'll go through that later. I had to do that for my Oceans unboxing, the Oceans Legendary Edition unboxing, because they did not include, at least in the pack that I had, they did not include one of those, you know, how to rebox all the pieces kind of sheets. So these are the different hero types that you can use. And it's weird calling them heroes because they are all a bunch of gnarly looking orcs that look like something you would normally be fighting. But we'll flip through at least a good few of these just to show off some of the art here. You know, it looks like one of the little goblin characters there. There's some kind of hobgoblin wizard. These, I don't know if these are thicker than those other ones. They feel, for some reason, they kind of feel thicker, but they're certainly larger. They kind of look like tiny epic card sizes here. As far as sleeves go, that would be my first guess. That looks like, that's that big troll ogre looking fella that we had out earlier. Yeah. Let's see here. What else we got? A war dog. Those must be those doggies. Okay, so these actually are the cards for the different characters that you're fighting. And these cards feel kind of nice. They kind of have that I don't know what you call it. They feel soft, like they have that like some kind of like a plasticky finish on the outside of them. Kind of gives them that like Almost like the surface has a slight give to it or something. It feels nice in the hand, even though, again, I always sleeve everything, so it's just going to feel like sleeves later. Sleeve King sleeves. And I am not sponsored by Sleeve Kings, but I do use Sleeve Kings almost only, like this, almost the only ones. Okay, so that's the whole original pack here. We can go ahead, that was quick enough. I'll flip through the second pack here. This probably goes with all of the characters from the second box. Even though these were all in the second box, they didn't have any of the card content in the first box. Okay, got old Hogan here. Let's see if I can remember him, just so I can know when I'm done flipping through these. This is a good way to get a deltoid workout, just holding these cards up across my table. Is that the... Okay. Just wanted to see if that was that Cthulhu Orc. It was probably on the other pack that I couldn't really quite see. These are all characters we're fighting against. Yeah, quite a few of these different enemies here. And some of these have like a back to them as well, so I don't know. I think maybe they flip over and have like different stats depending on like what point they are in a battle. Did I get to the end? Okay, that one fella looked like he was repeating himself. There's a Tarask. Okay, that's the end. All right, so those are all of the cards, all of the character and enemy cards that we're going to be dealing with. So as a final here, let's go ahead and take a peek at what the additional miniatures look like. So we've got a bunch of humanoids here, and a bunch of kind of pig-looking people. Not sure why they put them in pink. Maybe they're mercenaries or something, but there's quite a few of them, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Or they might just have separated them just simply because they're an odd, whatever, character type. But they look like they're all a bunch of pig people. And this is what happens during an unboxing video. Everything just starts to pile all around the table. Okay, so let's pull out a couple different looking pig fellas here. Looks like we've got a dwarf and some kind of an undead looking fella. So there's, you got like an undead looking soldier. Pikeman or halbert man or whatever. Here's a little dwarf. Strange, I've gotten so used to like these miniatures having circular bases. These all have square bases. This looks like some kind of female gnarly looking pig beast here. And the only reason I know it's female is because it looks like it has quite a few breasts. And then you got some pretty cool looking, like kind of pig warriors here. This guy's just carrying like a big axe halberd. All right. So we won't worry about going through all those. It does look like there's an undead scenario set in here, though. Pretty cool looking, though. I'm kind of more excited to get through this just after looking at all these miniatures, because they're really varied in the different types that they have, and you can tell this is one of those designers too, just from the bat here of looking at this, that they really poured a lot of their kind of heart and soul into making this game, because they had to work so hard to make this happen, and it looks like a real passion project. So that definitely makes it look a little more enticing. So we have some real machinery looking fellas here. These look like some kind of dwarf engineer mech warriors. So that's interesting and different. Looks like he's got a big pickaxe. He looks like he's ready to go mining hardcore. Not what you want to get in a tussle with. Then a couple of the heroes here kind of look like dwarves themselves as well. So maybe these are people that are getting recruited to the bad side, or they're bad dwarves or something. I don't know. Maybe they just had enough of the dwarf society and they're ready to take it down and hang out with the orcs. Let's see, a couple of the other orcs here just kind of look similar to the other ones. I mean, they're certainly different, but they kind of have a similar general look to them. But this fella here looks like a big demon. He looks really cool. He's one of the cooler looking characters that you play. Pretty neat. And this large enemy here is this, I think, just reading off that card, I think this is the Tarask. And Tarasks are usually these big, gnarly, kind of dinosaur-looking characters. But he almost looks like something out of Alien. Looks really cool, actually. Really cool. All right, well, I'm not gonna stare at him too long. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to really show, though, right now. There's a few other like odd hero types that are kind of different and interesting here. You've got another pretty cool looking dwarf character here, and like a barbarian kind of fella. And then you got this looks like a very cold looking wizard. I don't know, he's kind of hugging up to his little staff there. He looks like he needs a shirt or something. But all right, yeah, I think that's in general, that looks like the most of what I would want to show in this video. I don't think there's really too much extra stuff for OrcQuest Warpath. Looking forward to getting this out. Man, I've got a lot of stuff to go through. I really want to start playing Oathsworn, and I really want to play Dwellings of Eldervale, because I actually haven't gotten an opportunity to play that game yet, because it's been so hard for people to get their hands on. I haven't seen it too much. I only know one person that has it, and I don't tend to run into him very often. But this looks really neat. This is probably going to be one of those games that people wish they would have bought it if they haven't already. That's just my guess, just like on my soothsaying for the future, just off of how it looks and the production of it. Looks really nice. It was a really good price for all of these minis. I actually followed King of Average had talked about this, about what a good deal this was for how much content you got with it, and it certainly seems so. I think I paid about 130 euros for it. I don't know what that translated to dollars at the time, but for a game this big, though, that's not that bad, especially these days. And that was after everything was starting to increase in price, when they had that really good deal for all of this. So if you're a miniature painter, this is certainly going to be a game for you, because you've got a ton of really neat different styled miniatures in this game. So there are a lot of cool textures and things and skins to work with. But again, I think that's about all I have to say about this unboxing video of OrcQuest Warpath. If you enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free clicks on the screen really helps support out channels like mine. I really appreciate it when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. And at any length, guys, I hope you all are enjoying your games. I hope you're getting in OrcQuest if you ordered it. If you haven't, maybe keep an eye out. I'm not sure if this is coming to retail. I believe it was going to be coming to retail, though, through Monolith. But keep an eye out for it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Until next time, take care. I will see you on the next video. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.